I'll make sure we go live first. This is election and such. All right, and we are live.
Great. Good evening. Welcome to a special meeting of the Silverton Board of Trustees on March 17th. The time is 6:03 p.m. and I call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Weird.
Here.
Trustee George.
Here.
Harper. Trustee Harper.
I'm here.
Trustee Bierma.
Here.
Trustee Barella is not here yet. Mayor Pro Tem Barney.
Here.
Mayor Furman.
Here. Thank you.
Everybody's here but Trustee Barella.
Thank you. All right.
All right, so tonight's meeting, we are discussing the cancellation of the election due to the fact that we did not receive any write-in candidates as of 4:30 today, which is what was the deadline.
That was the deadline, yes.
And Matt, do you want to explain the resolution in front of them?
Yes. So let me pull that back up real quick.
And you all were emailed a resolution to cancel the election. Okay, great. And you received it. Excellent.
Okay. So in this resolution, it basically cites Colorado Revised Statute 31-10-507, which states that if there are no more candidates than there are offices to be filled, and there are no other ballot questions or no other questions presented on the ballot, then the Board of Trustees may vote to cancel the election and declare the candidates who have petitioned to be elected. And as of Silverton Municipal Code, they have 19 days before the election, whereas Colorado Revised Statutes puts it at 64 days before the election. So as of 4:30 today, we have passed the deadline for the Silverton Municipal Code. And so there are no write-in candidates, and thus there are only as many candidates as there are offices to be filled.
Thank you. And so practically, once we do this, there won't be an election, and then the transition will happen on April 11th. And the election date that was going to be April 5th is of no consequence.
Correct.
Cool. And then at the meeting on the 11th, we can talk about the process then in terms of like starting with current board and then transitioning during the course of the meeting. Awesome. Great. Sally?
Have we incurred printing costs?
Pardon?
Have we incurred printing costs?
We have not. I was fairly confident we'd have no write-in candidates, seeing as how is 60 days past, 64 days, 19, that'd be 24 days before the deadline, which is 40 days longer than the Colorado Revised Statutes allow for write-in candidates. So given that, I kind of put it on myself that if we get a write-in candidates, I'd be working over the weekend, and we did not. So I did not use ink or any other supplies we did not already have on hand. The only things I had to print out was the Yokova ballots. And so that's 7 voters, 2 pages.
So how do we notify the?
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler.
Sorry. How do we notify the 2 other people that'll be elected to the board? Is there some sort of formal process, or do we just call up and say, we're not having an election, welcome to the board?
That's the process as we understand it.
Yes. So With Colorado revised statutes, they'd have a good month already to be told like, yeah, so we cancel the election. And so, they'd be told far in advance, but I had not called any of the candidates yet and said the election has been canceled because y'all have not voted on the resolution yet. It is unlikely, but there is a chance that y'all might say, no, we want to go ahead with election anyway. That's totally possible and totally legal. So
Sure.
I did not call any of the candidates and confirm one way or another yet.
Got it. Okay. Any other
No,
questions?
now I have election.
Jess?
So two things. I think the amount of turnout that we had for this most recent election, to me, it's a real shame given that we had to have a special election, no more than 8 months ago. And we didn't really see any people show back up for this real election. So for one, that's a real shame. Two, I think the amount of turnout that we see may speak to the fact that this position is requiring more time than it has in the past. And it may be difficult for people to commit to that. So as I'm exiting after 6 years, I'd like you guys all to think about maybe giving yourself a raise, seeing as how when I first got on the board, the wages have been the same throughout the whole time. And we used to have maybe 2 or 3, potentially 4 meetings a month. And now, this week being one of them, we're seeing that in a week. So just something to think about. Maybe Gloria, if we can look into that. I'm pretty sure, that's something that may have to be voted on by the board, or I'm not exactly sure how that works, but just something that may encourage more people to participate in this next election.
Awesome. Thank you, Jess. I actually think those are really good points, and that we should evaluate what the town could afford to make it a slightly more compensated position. I think that we're only allowed to make the change for future, like the current board could vote for new iterations, but I don't think we can vote to change our own salaries. So this may actually be a super time crunch thing if we wanted to try and roll it out for the 2 new people.
And so I would like to just pause there. I want to keep us on special meetings per our code. We need to stay to the topic. But I can bring this up in another meeting where you guys can give me direction.
Great call.
Awesome.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments, or do we want to, does someone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion for resolution number 2022-08, for resolution instructing the town clerk to cancel the April 5th, 2022 election and declaring candidates elected.
Since I don't know the answers before someone seconds, perhaps someone besides Tyler should make this motion, since this does relate to Tyler.
Yes.
Subject to an election or not.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So we know you support it, Tyler. We know how you feel.
And may I also recommend that Tyler abstain from the
Thanks for
vote?
the catch.
Oh, we still have a quorum.
Wait,
Times.
but Shane, on that note, why would I abstain from the vote? I can vote for myself in a regular election.
That's true. I guess I don't know the answer. I was just making a suggestion, since we don't know the answer, to err on the side of caution. But if you feel comfortable with either of those things, it's up to you entirely.
Shall we have Tyler vote last so we
Okay.
can get a quorum before he votes?
I don't
I
know.
can make a motion. If you want to start
I'm
that
not going to
again.
make the motion for sure. I'm sorry. That was a good catch, Shane. Thank you.
I don't think it was out of line. I just want to make sure we don't do anything that potentially trips up anything.
Yep.
I can make a motion to approve resolution number 2022-08, a resolution instructing the town clerk to cancel the April 5th, 2022 election and declaring candidates elected.
I'll second.
Thank you. Roll call, please. I think we can go in the normal order.
Trustee Barilla, is not here. Trustee Harper,
Yes.
trustee Wiegert,
Yes.
trustee Bierma,
Yes.
trustee George,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Barney,
Yes.
Mayor Furman,
Yes,
6 yeses and 1 absent.
great.
Resolution passes.
Thank you. That's it, huh? Great. Well, thank you all very much. The time is now 6:13 PM and I adjourn this meeting.
Bye.
How about Rich?
Good night,
How about
everybody. Happy
Richmond,
St.
you
Patrick's
guys, huh?
Congratulations, Tyler.
Hey, Matt, can you email
Thank you,
that
guys.
resolution to Whitney?
Mhm.
That would be great. Thank you.
Do you have a pen that I can use?